GM Farcaster, and welcome to our CastOut show, episode 8. Almost done. So close to done. Let me just make sure that the players know we're live. I switched their group chat name from the Amazing POAP Race. So we're going to start there. We're going to start by recapping what happened yesterday. And let me actually bring that up in here. I forgot to do that. We have a lot of fun things that are going on. So let's dive in. So we had the Amazing POAP Race challenge. And what that was is they had to solve a series of clues that then brought you to a POAP. So you had to find the secret word and claim the POAP first. And there were 2 POAPs for each part of this challenge. And this was a way, so the whole idea behind CastOut is to sort of show off and amplify different apps and different things, different projects that are happening on Farcaster. So this was a way to roll in a whole bunch of stuff I couldn't figure out a challenge for. So the first stop on the Amazing POAP Race, the clue was QR62 winner F name. So the idea was you had to go to the app, go to the 60-second auction, figure out who won, and then their name was the secret word. So that was Estodge who won that one for Flock, and just a way to show off the QR app. I almost went to yours, and then I was like, I'll pick somebody else so that we can do a double shot of showing other people off. So, okay, this is when I started to run into problems by the second one. Because I learned yesterday.
Didn't get very far.
Didn't get very far. Second one, I learned that the WYAT, or where you at, app was only available to those who went to FarCon.
Yes, it's still in beta.
Didn't realize that. Did not realize that till people started to look and could not
and they
access
couldn't get
the
it.
app. So I gave them a second clue here. So what I gave them first was just this picture of this. The checked in at Pasty's best niçoise salad in Manhattan, and you had to figure out who it was. If you went to the app, you could see their name, and it's Fred Wilson. But if you couldn't get into the app, you would have no clue. So the second part of the clue was he talked about it. He talked about this app in his Fireside Chat at FarCon, because he mentioned this app and your app, the Coinoroid, right at the beginning of the Fireside Chat. So that was the other option. And literally, he was the only one who did a Fireside Chat. It was just him and DWR. So you could just guess with those 2. So that was the second one. Then we rolled into the third, also ran into a problem. The clue was sell 8 of this crop for 100 XP today. So if you go and play Farville, this is relating to Farville, which people figured that out from the word crop. You go in there, there's quests, there's daily quests and weekly quests. What I did not know is that the quests are different for everyone, depending on your level. So depending on your level, puts you in different leagues, and then the quests are related to leagues. So I didn't know that until it was pointed out to me. So we had to make a slight adjustment on this one. And we ran a little tiebreaker later on. So that was that one. Then this one was pretty straightforward. It was AT001 featured. And they had to figure out that AT referred to acid test, go to acid test, and figure out that the first person featured was JC4P. JC4P was the clue. So also got to give a little shout out to JC4P in the process. So there you go. And then the next one was a math test, dgen plus dgen equals, but it was referring to base drop. So you had to know that in the game base drop, dgen plus dgen equals virtual. So virtual was the clue. And that was a way of getting this game in there without actually playing the game, because until a couple days ago, there was no way to confirm it on chain. There is now a minting process, but when I was looking at this game last week, there was not. So that just got added. So fun little game. And then we had this clue, 1 down, 7 across was the whole clue. And of course, you had to go to mini word and figure out what those words were. And there were complaints that no one has ever called it a Rita. I'm like, this is not the point. I wanted to complain about questions in the game. I'm like, take that to CB. He'll help you out there. But also, it doesn't matter. Not matter. But it was kind of funny. And then I messed up Farcaster. So I had Farcaster ready to go. I messed it up twice in 2 different ways. So it was really funny. So the first time, I didn't realize that you can no longer change the secret word on a POAP. You used to be able to change that, and you can't anymore. So I set it up early and thinking I could go in and change it to yesterday's clue. I put in the day before's. You couldn't. So I had a whole workaround ready, and then I dropped it too soon because also these were they were timed. So there was one every hour and you weren't going to be able to claim it. So I had to pull it back and we skipped this one, but Farcaster, you were in there. And then there was one more tiebreaker, and that was not an app, but it was who is FID 20. And you had to figure that out. And their name was the last clue, the tiebreaker clue.
Who is FID 20?
Any guesses? It's early. Early times. Any guesses in the chat who don't know?
Brian Armstrong?
Good job. Yes, it is.
Oh.
Yes. Brian Armstrong is FID 20. Why do you know this, Prof? I don't know. I just do. FID 8 is Jacob. I just know some things. So yeah, so that was that one. And B Armstrong was technically the clue because that's the username. And here's where we ended up. We ended up with, let me add this to the stage. Whoops. Let me remove this one. Come on. Add the stage. There we go. So we ended up, there was 7 different POAPs. One, this poor one is no longer, but there's another one. The Lil Sock Gang was eliminated, as well as Maya, and we're left with Good News and Cast Me Outside. Good News dominated with 6 POAPs. Cast Me Outside pulled in 4. Lil Sock Gang had 2, and Maya had 1. And by the way, one member of the Lil Sock Gang, who shall remain nameless, said the words to me, didn't realize how much Farcaster stuff was going to be part of this game. I'm like, it's the whole game. It's the whole entire game.
Didn't watch season 1 or season 2.
No, they had no idea what they were getting into. So very
Didn't
funny.
know what they were signing up for.
So Brock wants me to explain the shenanigans. All right, you're leaving. You're leaving out the shenanigans. Sockgate. Okay, so I created a group chat with all the tribes that were playing yesterday. And I should have done some screenshots of this and I forgot. So they were all in one so that I could drop the clue in one place. They would all get it at the same time. There wouldn't be any issues. I also didn't want to put it publicly because I didn't want anyone else grabbing the POAPs before they could. So yeah, I talked about Wheatgate already. That was the answer to the Farville one was wheat. And there was some complaints on that one because for other people, it was something else. And they were like, I don't know what they couldn't. So it was an unfair question because I didn't realize. Anyway, so second question, this was, oh no, I think it was during that question, actually. The Good News crew and the Cast Me Outside crew started bombarding the chat with sock memes, just all different sock art memes, things, to a poem. A poem just popped up. Crazy. And it was just like, and I was like, oh God, okay. And then I pinned the clue so you could find it easily and let them know. And I'm like, I'm like, okay, guys.
Trying to DDoS
totally.
the POAP race.
Totally. I like interesting strategy. Interesting strategy. So the next time I'm like, okay, now new rule. 30 seconds before you do anything like that. Sock bombs. Yes. And sock poems. I did say that, yes, the sock bombing is exactly what happened. So funny. But I was like, oh, guys, come on. But it was really funny. And then it was pretty clear, obviously, at that point, that Cast Me Outside and Good News were working together. For some reason, the other two tribes didn't think to do the same. I still am like, I'm still shocked at how poorly DAO members play the social game. Like it's still stunning. Anyway, yeah, they should have gotten together and like, but I can't say anything. So I'm just like watching it all go down. When did we work together? How about when the sock memes and the sock poems went out? Hello. That made it pretty clear that it was a coordinated effort. It was pretty funny.
Denial.
So,
There's some.
yeah, I know. Denial. I've been here the whole time. I know. It was really funny. So that ended up working to their advantage. They worked together. They both made it in. They were really fast. They just got the questions really quick for the most part. There was a couple that all of them were really fast, like within 5 minutes. There was one that I was about to drop a second clue and they already got it. And I was like, okay, you guys are doing great. There was some fake groups. Yes, I did see those as well. They also created a couple fake groups with fake clues. I had to be like, if it's not for me, it's not real. Obviously. They didn't go as far as to make a fake me, I don't think, but I might have missed that. I'm not sure. So that was funny as well. So they played hard. They strategized. So here's the really funny part, though. As I was thinking this as this is all going down, is that I'm like, okay, they're obviously working together. They're both going to end up in the final. I don't think that Good News has thought this through in terms of strategy. I think that they paired up with probably the hardest people to win this final challenge with, but they wouldn't know that. Right. They don't know what the final challenge is. But as soon as I was seeing this all go down, I'm like, oh, this is going to be interesting. You might regret what you're doing because you probably would have had an easier time with one of the other tribes. But here we go. So let's talk about what's next. Actually, before I do that, let me go back to this real quick and just finish this out really fast. So this is the challenge summary. Here's where we are. Cast Me Outside has won one challenge. Good News won yesterday's challenge. They're both still in. DV, Lil Fun are all out and did not win any challenges, but also were voted out. Lil Sock Gang dominated challenges, but they're out because the social game is always at play. Maya also out, as well as Purple that went out yesterday. So forgot about that too. Another shenanigan was saying, got it, so they would give up buying us more time if we needed it. Again, I would say, until I say it's gotten, it might still be there. Because I was also confirming, I was refreshing and making sure it was actually, the got was actually got. All right, so here's where we are. And I want to say thank you to our prize pool sponsor, Lil Nouns DAO. And Rachel, I still need to send you your Lil Noun from the challenge the other day. Prize pool sponsor, also Octin. Thank you, Octin. Also GM Farcaster sponsor. And Purple, even though they're out, they live on. And we thank you. And our reward sponsor, DGen. Thanks, Yasik and crew. All right. So let me come back over here. Ooh, we have the wrong background and everything. Jeez. Forgot to change it up. Let me put that back on. I know. There we go. This is better. We need this for the CastOut background. All right. So your next challenge. First, before I say that, we do have a tournament that's happening. Anyone can play. There are 3 games. And it is Hyperheat, GeoCrush, and Farnouns. And you can play in this tournament. It does cost some of your in-game coins to play, but you'll win some of those back if you do well as the top person on the leaderboard, regardless of whether they're playing with CastOut or not, is going to win 5,000 DGen for each of these 3 games. This is a little hint to what's to come for the tribes. And here's what the tribes are going to do. In a schoolyard style pick, the tribe players will challenge others on the tribe in one of the Farcade games. Most challenge wins CastOut. So, Hyperheat, GeoCrush, Farnouns, Downhill Skiing, and Nightmare Blocks are the games that they're going to play. And the way this is going to go is because Good News was first, and I forgot to put one other image up here. Good News was first up in they won the most yesterday. They'll get the first pick. So they have to decide. This is where strategy comes in and maybe the saving grace for the Good News tribe. This might be the only thing that saves them. No offense, guys, but you're up against some monsters.
I feel bad
They're
giving
just really
like a vote of no confidence.
I'm sorry, but have you seen? They're like crazy good at some of these games.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm, and these games were set for a while. So like, I really hope that, maybe Good News can pull it off by being strategic because they have the first choice. So they're going to pick who from their team is going to challenge someone from that team and pick who they're going to challenge and which game. So they'll do the first pick, and then Cast Me Outside will get the second pick to do that, and then back and forth until we have them all. So I'm going to be explaining this in the group challenge, in the group chat. So don't worry if you have questions and you're not exactly sure what I'm saying. Hopefully it'll make sense. And here's like a little bit of the info here that we'll be filling in. So Good News, you'll pick which game first, which player who's going to play from your team, who on the other tribe, and then you will challenge them inside of Farcade using the challenge tool within Farcade. So that's the plan. If you were going to play, Adrian, which one of these games would you want to play? I'll put them back up.
Probably GeoCrush.
GeoCrush? You feel confident?
Not for any strategy. It's just the one I'm I have the most experience with. So
luckily for these,
I don't want to learn a new game.
Yeah. If you go in to these games, you can look at the leaderboards and see even within your friends. Yeah. In within the, see who plays best. So that might play into your strategy. Things like that. If you haven't played, you'll have a little bit of time. You're going to have to make your first challenge at 1 p.m. So you got some time to strategize and talk to your tribe, figure out who's good at what, go in and play around with these games a little bit and check it out. So yeah, I love Farnouns. It's one of my new favorites, but not particularly good at it, but that'd probably be my call. Nightmare Blocks might be the worst game ever. But here's the thing, everyone's bad at it. So there might be some strategy. So you
could play that strategy.
You could take somebody out who's good at a different game, put them in that game. There's things to be done. So we'll see how it plays out. So, good news. You have good news for you is you do have the first pick. Bad news is they are destroyers. You are correct. So the perk isn't immunity. No, the perk is not immunity. It is you get the first pick. That's it. So there's a little bit of advantage there for you. And we'll see how it plays out. And then tomorrow we will be on at noon to break all this down, recap, and there's one last twist. We'll know who the winning tribe is, but we won't necessarily know who the sole survivor is. So there's one more twist among the winning tribe. So get ready to turn on each other. Just for fun. All right.
Uh,
Anything else, Adrian? So how's the app doing? Is it everything working well?
I think it is. I casted it,
Very exciting.
and I think people are watching from within
All right.
Farcaster.
Well, fantastic. If you're watching from inside Farcaster, well, you probably can't comment, but let us know.
Yeah, there's no comment, so you can't join the chat.
You have to jump over to YouTube to join the chat.
You have to, yeah, you got to exit, go to YouTube, or you can cast. If you tag me, I'm seeing it. Yeah, Brad, game changer. Watch GM Farcaster and mini app while doing other Farcaster stuff and still paying attention.
Love that.
Better than I can do.
Yeah, and it seems to be. Yep, I see it live now.
So
very good.
The issue with the app is the flipping between when we're live or not, and I messed something up with my caching because if it knows we're live, it'll say we're live all day unless I go in and reboot the server, like deploy the app. I have to manually be like, now we're not live. Go show another video.
Yeah, little thing that needs to be tweaked, but pretty cool.
Little things like that. And
did the notification go out too? Did that work?
Notification.
Okay.
That we were live. I just casted it. If you guys are watching from Farcaster or using the mini app, add the app. When it asks you to save it, if you say not now, it should keep prompting you every time you open it, or in the top right corner, you can click the little 3 dots and add the frame. Frame. Sorry, Linda, $10.
$10. Now you're 20.
But once you add it, I'll be able to DM you, or you'll get a notification when we're live, and you'll never miss a show ever again.
Perfect.
Probably not something you want. Yay.
Perfect. You never want to miss a show. All right, everyone. I'm going to go drop the info into the group chat for the last 2 tribes standing. Thanks for checking in with us. We'll be back tomorrow to announce our final tribe winner and the final twist in CastOut. Almost done. Almost there. It's getting close. So until then, we'll see you. Bye-bye.